Hello everyone, how are you? In this one piece, we are going to discuss about a poem, and the main theme of the poem is the feeling of nationalism in one's heart and mind. Children, today's poem and the title of today's poem is My Native Land by Sir Walter Scott. Basically, Sir Walter Scott was a Scottish historical novelist, poet, playwright, and historian. Many of his work remain classics of both English language literature and of Scottish literature. Some of his most famous works include Ivanhoe, Rob Roy, The Lady of the Lake, Waverley, The Bride of Lammermoor, etc. So the present piece we are talking about breathes there the man with soul so dead, who never himself hath said, "This is my own, my native land, whose heart had never within him burned as home his footstep he hath turned from wandering on a foreign strand." Basically, the beginning of the lines of this poetry says that the person who is only breathing but his soul is dead, who has never said to himself that this is my native land, means to say that the poet wants to say the person who has no feeling towards his nation is only breathing, but his heart, his soul is lost. When it is lost, because it has no feeling of the motherland. That's why this is my own, my native land. It has been said that whose heart had never burned himself, who has never thought that, who has never created a feeling, a sense of oneness, a feeling of one's possession over the entire country, that this is my own nation and I will die and live for the sake of this nation. So the poet says that breathe there the man. The man is breathing, but he is dead because he has no feeling of nationalism. Now we are coming to the next one. If such there breathe, go mark him well. For him no minstrel rapture swell. His high thought, high though his title, proud his name, boundless his wealth, as wish can claim. The poet says that no doubt there may be a person that he is having a large amount of wealth. He is having a large amount of wealth. But his all wealth, his all repo will come to an end because his titles, his proud name, nobody is going to sing after his death. The person who is really a useless creature, who has no feeling, who has no love for his nation, he is just like a person who is only breathing, but soul is not there. It may be that he is having high title, he is very famous person, he is wealthy, but nobody will sing his name after his death. So the poet says that if such there breathe, go mark him well. If any person is there who is having high title, high property, lots of wealth, but he is not having any feeling towards his nation, because nobody will sing, nobody will praise him. His high, though his title, it may be, he is very famous, he is very known person, he is very wealthy person. But despite of all these wealth, title and power, this is not used, because all this property has been used by him. There is no use for the nation. That's why a person who has lots of wealth but not having any feeling, not having love for the nation is really a useless creature. So the poet says that it might happen that the person is of high honor, he is having lots of property, but he is having no feeling towards the nation, then that person is useless and nobody will sing his name just after his death. That's why it is written that if such there breathe, that means the person who is having property but no feeling, he can breathe only. Go mark him well, for him no minstrel rapture swell. High thou his titles, proud his name, boundless his wealth as wish can claim. Despite those title, power and wealth, all things are useless in the absence of patriotism. So we see that the background or the main theme of this poetry is nationalism. Now we are going to talk about the last one part of this poetry, My Native Land. In this one we find that the wretch concentrated all in self. Living shall forfeit fair renown, and doubly dying shall go down to the vale dust from whence he sprang, unswept, unhonored, and unsung. These lines says that if the person who is having lots of wealth, high honor, high title, but in the lack of patriotism or nationalism or the feeling towards one nation, he is just useless. And the poet says that all his good reputation and fame, it will be unsung. Nobody will sing his name. That kind of person will mingle into the dust from where his occurrences was there, and says that that person will die. And such kind of person who is not having any sense of feeling, any love, any respect for his nation will be unwept to. That if that kind of person dies, nobody is weeping. For example, you can take example of Bhagat Singh, you can take example of Mahatma Gandhi. If such person dies, the entire nation has wept because they had got the feeling towards their nation. I hope you must have enjoyed this video. Thank you all of you. Thank you.